Welcome to this Word of Hope. It's Monday of the second week of Christmas, January 6th, already 2025. This past weekend, we just celebrated the Epiphany of Jesus, one of those important milestones in this story of Jesus himself. We're unfolding his story, of course, this great birth of his, but we've also gone through some of the little life passages that he experienced, his presentation in the temple. We've heard of him being found when he was a 12-year-old after a celebration in Jerusalem. And today we have another sort of life passage of Jesus, a moment of like a rite of passage where he leaves home. He goes off and starts living on his own. Today we have St. Matthew telling us that Jesus leaves Nazareth right after his baptism and where he's sent out into the desert. He leaves Nazareth, his home, and begins his ministry. It's sort of this beginning of his real adulthood. And he starts from the very beginning. Does he know how it's going to happen? Does he know what he's going to say and how it will unfold? He discovers life as a young man, as we do as well. That was one of those brilliant things about the incarnation of God experiencing the life as we live it, fully human, fully divine. We are invited by St. John at the beginning of this ministry of Jesus to pay attention. There are so many voices out there that vie for our attention, to tell us how to live, what to think, what to make of the world. But John understood this in his own time. There's a myriad of voices out there. But he calls his disciples to remember to pay attention to the voice of Jesus. Because John gives of his life. His letters and his gospel tell us that he writes these down for us because he wanted us to know. He says, I write this down and this is truthful because you should know about it. Pay attention to who this Jesus is. And as we sort of allowed ourselves to walk through the birth of Jesus and his childhood at this part of Christmas, sort of steeped in Jesus' humanity, we're invited to walk with him too. And what is it through his life that he really needs for us to hear and understand? What is it that he has to offer? And to discover for ourselves why his voice is the voice to pay attention to. We're going to have a lot of people tell us of Christ, the different gospel writers. We're going to have Paul and the other disciples that will go out and tell us of some of whose writings we have. But the challenge for us now at this part of Christmas, and as we begin this new year, is to maybe rediscover for ourselves why that voice of Christ is so important and why his voice stands above all others for our good, for our happiness, for our flourishing, and for our salvation. I hope you have a great new year.